As we discussed a moment ago, Congress reached an agreement overnight for COVID relief that will help to ease the crushing burden of this pandemic, at least for a while. It took a holiday deadline and the imminent expiration of aid passed 9 months ago to move Capitol Hill to action at the last possible moment. So who exactly will be helped by the new legislation, and why has it taken our elected representatives so long to address the ongoing national crisis? NBC's Garrett Haake has our Sunday focus.
Randy Williams lost his job at a Tennessee Cracker Barrel back in March. He'll be watching and waiting today to make sure Congress passes a coronavirus relief bill to extend unemployment benefits that would otherwise expire the day after Christmas.
I wouldn't be driving, but I wouldn't be sinking. I could at least stay afloat for another month or two till that expires.
There are roughly 13 million Americans dependent on federal unemployment benefits. As usual, it's taking a crisis for Congress to act, bickering and mixing their metaphors to the bitter end.
You can use whatever football analogy you want. We're on the 5-yard line or the 1-yard line or whatever.
We need to conclude our talks, draft legislation, and land this plane.
But since March, when Congress passed the $2.2 trillion CARES Act, party leaders mostly just sniped at each other.
An assault on Americans' workers.
They're really bullying small business owners.
By early November, West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin had seen enough. He reached out to Maine Republican Susan Collins, and soon the two had launched a bipartisan working group. Their 600 pages of legislation became the jumping-off point for a new relief bill.
How important was the work that the bipartisan group did to get this started?
We wouldn't be where we are today if it hadn't been for what we were able to do, because we had input from an awful lot of people.
All those people agreed to focus on emergency measures, like an eviction moratorium that would prevent landlords from forcing up to 40 million people from their homes just after the holidays, and providing tens of billions of dollars for small business owners desperately trying to make it through the pandemic without losing their livelihoods, including some businesses passed down for generations. And billions more for vaccine distribution, a need brought home as lawmakers began getting their own shots this week. But perhaps the most contentious issue has been stimulus checks, Republicans blocking another round of $1,200 payments as too expensive.
We do not have an unlimited checking account.
This time, eligible Americans could expect to get $600 checks shortly after Congress acts today. For folks like Randy Williams, that something would be better than nothing after so many months of nothing.
I try not to dwell on the what if, what will I do next? Because to be honest, I've run out of what I'm going to do next.
And Garrett joins me now live outside the Capitol. Garrett, good morning. Good to see you. So after months of these frustrating negotiations that we all have been covering, things should start to move quickly now as Congress looks to get out of town. So how soon can Americans expect help to arrive?
Yeah, Willie, things will pick up today, we hope. The House could vote as early as 1 o'clock this afternoon. The Senate would vote after them. This would send the bill to the president's desk. He needs to sign it by midnight tonight just to keep the government open. And he is expected to sign it, despite some reporting that he had wanted larger stimulus checks to be included. Then there is good news. Because so much of the infrastructure already exists here, the programs that would expire will be extended essentially automatically once the bill gets signed. And those stimulus checks could come much faster this time. The Treasury Secretary has said he's hopeful that he'd be able to get checks out within just a few days of this bill becoming law. Willie?
That relief is a long time coming, as you pointed out. Garrett Haake in Washington. Garrett, thanks so much. We appreciate it.